ओम हरि ओम तत्सत ओम नमोस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुधे फूलारविंदायत पत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः। बोले श्री व्यास महाराज जी की जय, परमाचार्य जी की जय। Please be seated, everyone. Ashram. Sekian ada. Ari. Lebih serangan dan juga sering kamu nak tu sih. Baru.
front or to the right? Yeah. Right.
Okay, that's the program. Yeah, you are. Yeah, DV. Yeah. There is 6 there. And then, Pandit Ishwar. Yeah. Just go with you, I will pen anything. No. That's good.
I told you take me to play back and you will edit it and but some place I make a stupid mistake and
No, I like, but system there is some good outside. Yeah, outside some over thing it, but the last is something best.
this one coming light. Doesn't matter how well.
No. But
You say coming light?
he's around. No. He's around here. The set is time box writing, yes. As soon as I done, I just pass on these two. You are fast, right? Yeah. Put down this to write for him. Jairat, I am last. So Norman and Yarki. Yeah, but that's it last.
You do this? You do it? What have you done? Same day, sir? Why finally? But I said the real person here, you know. But if real professional is here. And I go as khaki. No problem. No problem. See how long yet. Director is doing that.
Before you go to the newspaper, when you finish, the speaker says, well, I will give you. While I will read the speaker. So you start with
Sitaram everyone, and a warm welcome to SWAHA's 30th anniversary celebration at Divya Ashram. As we are about to begin, I would like to say thank you for your patience, and I would now like to pass over to Mrs. Rampersad, the chairperson of Divya Ashram.
Padamachar of SWAHA, Pandit Rampersad, Chairman of the Dharma Mandal, Pandit Professor Dr. Prakash Prasad, President of SWAHA, Pandit Ishwar Madhu Maharaj, Pandits of the Dharma Mandal, Pandits of the Dharma Sansad, other Pandits, members of our SWAHA audience, members of the viewing audience, well-wishers, Sitaram. Today, Saturday, the 15th of April, 2023, marks a memorable reunion for the family of SWAHA. For, as was the dictate of the United Nations and governments across the world, we had to stay apart. For the COVID pandemic commanded isolation for our survival. We could not pray together, but we definitely stayed together. And so today we celebrate our survival, our reunion. We of SWAHA Divya Ashram feel especially honored and privileged to be hosting this coming together. But to be honest, when we accepted this role of host, things were not quite in place for our family that was coming here. Actually, Divya Ashram was and is now coming out, cautiously coming out of the post-pandemic period. And, you know, we had to take things slowly. People were very cautious to come back and were very tolerant. And this is the seva of which I speak. And so today, Divya Ashram warmly embraces the role of host to be the confluence, the meeting point, the prayag, the coming together of all the tributary branches of SWAHA. What was a very significant motivational factor in this labor of love was this beautiful, heavenly, live picture you are seeing on the altar area. The collective esteemed presence of our learned spiritual leaders. We feel so special, so fortunate that our distinguished pundits of the Dharma Mandal are in this location. We offer our salutations to you. We know for a fact that what will be expounded today by our spiritual leaders will be inspiring and soul-quenching. That is a given. But as the host, we do hope that our hospitality will make for a memorable reunion. So, swagatam, swagatam. Hum parivar hai. Welcome, welcome. We are a family. And now we go straight into the evening's devotional program, and I hand you over to the Paramachar, Pandit Rampersad.
Boliye Sri SWAHA Mata ki Jai. Devotees, for a few moments, just let's concentrate. And I would like that we all join together firstly in offering special obeisance to the Guru. Having said so, we bring back to mind the founder of SWAHA, the Guru of SWAHA, the late Shankaracharya. Today is the anniversary of his Samadhi, Mahasamadhi. So, as it is, what I would like to do is just invite you to join. Repeat after me as we simply perform the Guru Gayatri, and after which we'll invite Pandit Gyandev, who will present his message. So, concentrate on your respective Gurus. Visualize, if you can, the Shankaracharya. Repeat after me. Om Ved Adi Guru Devaye Vidmahi Param Guruve Dhimahi Tanna Guru Prachodayat. Om Ved Adi Guru Devaya Vidmahi Param Guruve Dhimahi Tanno Guru Prachodayat. One more time. Om Ved Adi Guru Devaya Vidmahi Param Guruve Dhimahi Tanno Guru Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Boliye Sri Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Vipasavad Pandit Gyandev.
So Boliye Sri SWAHA Mata ki Jai. I seek your forgiveness for my raspy voice. Our Reverend Paramacharya, Pandit Rampersad, Pandit Dr. Prakash Prasad, our President, Pandit Ishwar Madhav Maharaj, and all other esteemed Pandits who are facing you. We are very fortunate to see their faces. This anniversary celebration is possible because of the tremendous and magnanimous contributions of a host of dharmic individuals. Today we are really honoring all those persons whose sterling contributions have served as a catalyst for our organization's continued esteemed position in the national landscape. Time will not permit me to mention all those persons' names. So as a sacred category, I will say, first of all of you are present here. You have taken the time, you have made necessary arrangements to celebrate us 30 years. And before I forget, the last celebration was held on the 25th anniversary of SWAHA. And one of the persons who loves SWAHA a lot, it was 25 years we celebrated, and then 5 years after he's celebrating the 30th anniversary. So a person tell me to give everybody $5. Who don't want it, you could contribute to SWAHA. All you want it? It's not even 1.5, you have plenty, what? All you want it? You'll accept it? Yes or no? Now man, come wake up now man. Give me a response. I know what to do. Give me guidance. You'll accept $5, everybody? Very shameless man. I know time's hard, but to God, you guys take us so high, man. But here what we going to do? Here we going to do. I'll designate Amika, Janika, somebody to give all the children under 15 years a $5 bill. If you don't get, come and ask me. If your mother take it from you, come and tell me. Right? Everything's hard. So this is a contribution from an individual who rather name not be called. Don't worry single. The single is just a distinguished. Right, so you have all the fives here for all the people. Right? All the children. So when the program is completed, to celebrate 5 years since we had the last SWAHA anniversary, we given each person $5. And Lolita wanna come in and she said they're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary here. So when you celebrate the 50th anniversary, you have to give everybody $50. If all you agree. So, all those persons, the executive of SWAHA, past and present, of the branches, and especially our recently appointed Pandit Ishwar Madhu Maharaj, who is the present president, who took over from Pandit Jarat Maharaj, who had continued the splendid work of past presidents and guided SWAHA to the stable and enviable position of being one of the most forward-thinking, trend-setting Hindu organization in our motherland of Trinidad and Tobago. The foundation of SWAHA was provided by these divine incarnations of whom I'm about to speak. Their humility, experience, knowledge, perspicacity, divine wisdom, unreserved support was, and I hope you all know your mind, was the Angad Kacharan. Palbaram will explain later, maybe if you don't understand. The Angad Kacharan in his turbulent formative years of SWAHA's existence. I speak of His Holiness Swargiya Sri Hari Prasad Ji Shankarchar and his said Harmony Mataji Sri Chandravati Prasad. For the last 30 years, just as citizens of this land, and I just remember last night watching ITV, and Pamayadeva started a very beautiful discourse on SWAHA. If you didn't see it, watch it, you show it again. About the history of SWAHA. It's true. Thanks for your support. If you have not seen it, you'll see it again. But he's going to continue it. So just for the last 30 years, since SWAHA's existence, just as citizens of this land, SWAHA has been subjected to an onslaught of difficult scenarios, including crime, scarce funding, poor infrastructure, economic depression, personal attacks, and more lately, the attendant curtailing of dharmic operations due to the government's imposition of COVID restrictions. We have experienced a smooth transition in spiritual and secular leadership. When Shankarchar died, unfortunately, and Rampersad took over as Paramachar. Smooth transition. SWAHA doesn't fight. SWAHA parents don't fight neither. In secular leadership, presidents have changed. We have had many presidents in SWAHA form. Smooth, no problem. We have suffered the inevitable demise of your pundits. I will pause to remember Rampersad of Sukh Shanti, and all the members who are here will indeed feel they are missing something when he's not here. I am sure we're looking forward to the memorial services of our departed members of SWAHA. This is another program the executive will be looking at, I suppose. The signature pronouncement of Shankarchar, which everybody should learn, Karle Kaam Bhajale Ram, do your work and pray to God, is what has enabled us to overcome the many grahas that have embodied themselves before each one of us. We have gone through what you call the Brahma principle, which is the creation of temples, schools, and other institutions in the north, central, and south of our land. And now this is no longer a priority. SWAHA doesn't want to build more temples yet. The Brahma principle has been taken care of. The Vishnu notion suggests that now we must preserve these establishments. The Shiva conviction dictates that we must continuously guard against any misuse, defiling, or destruction of our properties. We all have a joint responsibility to ensure that the initial vision of SWAHA is not counteracted by the cataract vision of liberalism. During the Brahma stage of organization, there are many vicious, unwanted attacks from organization and individuals who had placed politics and blind following to supposedly religious leaders above sanity and Hindu unity. Each of our institutions face these tremendous challenges as well as fulfilling the Shankaracharya's dictate of establishing religious, social, and educational institutions everywhere in Trinidad. Can you remember the slogan which you tried to achieve, which was coined by Pandit Balaram? SWAHA everywhere. SWAHA is everywhere. The establishment of this temple, the Divya Ashram, under the spiritual leadership of Professor Pandit Prakash Prasad and his following, is the result of those acrimonious endeavors of those modern day Ravans and Kans. Kans is spelled K-A-N-S. The evil king was killed by Sri Krishna. Those unrelenting attacks emboldened the members to continue to fulfill the Brahma vision of SWAHA of owning fully all our institutions, and at that time establishing SWAHA in Central. The Divya Ashram, this temple we are in today, has blossomed in a mud of acrimony and hostility. It is most appropriate for us at this juncture, you all listen, to give a rousing round of applause to the membership of this temple, to take a moment, let's take a moment and reflect on those who started this temple. Let us all give this temple members a round of applause. We have spiritual leadership. I'm sure one of these days you'll hear more about that. Is there anyone who was here initially when this temple was built? When the mountain was still here? Any members were here? And then, call out your name. Bob, you ashamed of your name? Stand up and say your name loud. Arjun. You want to say your name? It's going on national television, you know. We have an ITV audience of thousands, you know. Let me hear you. Thank you very much. So those persons who are there from the beginning and join after, all of you, special blessings. Pandit Jaidat, the last president of SWAHA, on the Hindu perspective, a program which you should watch, ITV, beautifully stated that must record the history of SWAHA, meaning each of our institutions, and must do it now, while the founders of SWAHA are still around, and to give the history. So, we are here, when Dr. Prakash Prasad is here, Professor, and all those who have led the charge to build temples, and you all are still here, Arjun and others, so you can verify the history of the establishment of this organization called SWAHA through its branches, the struggles you have gone through. Today is a day of celebration, so we're not going to go negative, but it's good to think about those things. While Shankaracharya gave us spiritual direction and protection, it was Mataji who provided us with this kahawat. What is kahawat? Ek haath se tali nahi bachti. Ek haath se tali nahi bachti. You know what it means? You will hear. By practicing with SWAHA, we have to maintain an impeccable organizational character by not engaging any fight with anyone, regardless of the intense provocation by these persons. From the historical book Mahabharata, warriors fighting between Kauravas and Pandavas, who were cousins, to the present day posts on Facebook. Posts from Mahabharata book to Facebook, they still fight between members of families and religious persons. It's sad. And we, Mataji's dictates still hold currency for us. Ek haath se tali nahi bachti. It means, ek haath se tali nahi bachti. Everybody know what it means? You cannot clap with one hand. That is the literal meaning. But really it means, it takes two to make a fight. So when those people are attacking members of the ashram, attacking SWAHA, Mataji said, ek haath se tali nahi bachti. Use that in your life. It takes two to make a fight. Let them fight one. We're not going to fight. This is not SWAHA. Certainly you have realized the Brahma stage for SWAHA. We have on the Going Vishnu stage the general donation of members of our organization and community, hosting of fundraising events and execution of secular activities under activities of religious calendar. we Dharma Mandala message a full reconnaissance of all SWAHA's activities from this year. The Shiva notion is in the hands of our full membership, you, Pandits, executives, and general public. We are confident we will be celebrating SWAHA's anniversary on a regular basis, as our young members and Pandits are enthusiastically taking up the mantle of SWAHA leadership. SWAHA's leadership is guided now by whom? The Holy Tridev. And I use the word Tridev because the word was used. Other people of other persuasion use another word which we tend to use. Tridev, three Devatas. That is the word, Tridev. Who are they? Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. With all of you, who are you now? Hanumans. And Param made a very nice statement, which I still remember. He said, be a Hanuman if you are a man, be a Hanu boy if you are a boy, be a Hanu girl if you are a girl, be a Hanu child if you are a child, but be a Hanu something. Stand up and protect Dharma. You all must be the Hanuman to bring this Jivani Bhuti, to instill life into SWAHA whenever we are struck down. This is your responsibility as the following. I'm member of SWAHA. The Pandits are not God. They may be fallible. They make mistakes. But your devotees are there as the Hanumans to bring this Jivan Bhuti, to bring back life into SWAHA. We implore you, each one of us must think about that. We must stand together and at all times in solidarity and unity with each other. Destroy the effects of myopic thinking. We must be rhapsodic about our serving our Dharma. This is what we must do. On this occasion, our celebration, our 30th anniversary of SWAHA, please join in keeping the flag of SWAHA flying high in the stadium, in the temples, in all corners of our land, just as it's fluttering merrily in our hearts. We are SWAHA and we are proud. And are committed to Sankaracharya's tradition. Mataji's dictate, ek haath se taj nahi bachti. Pitaji's lesson, karle kaam bhare ram, must resonate in our psychic as we go forward and continue with SWAHA. It is said beautifully in our scriptures, Sri Ram kare, Sri Krishna kahe. Sri Ram kare, Ram did actions. What Krishna Bhagavan does, stand up and talk. It might sound bad, but that's the reality. Sri Ram kare, Sri Krishna kahe. So there are some people who have to talk and some people have to act. Now I am talking. Now I want you to act. We are all Ramji ki Sena. We get a strength from SWAHA Devi to continue serving SWAHA. So please let us join. Now your time to act. I was talking. As we conclude, I conclude. Everybody's going to join. Nobody's voice is as raspy as mine. So ready? Are you ready? Jai Swaha Mata Maya Jai Swaha. Alright, they call our chicken start. Or fowl start. What are we going to start? You're going again. Ready? Jai Swaha Mata Maya Jai Swaha Mata Tum Yagni Ki Shakti Om. Well done. I end with one verse from the SWAHA Chalisa, considering who we are celebrating today, SWAHA and Shankaracharya and Mataji. Jai Jai SWAHA Mai, Jai Jai Mata Chandravati, Yah Chalisa Hari Prasar hai. Bol si SWAHA Mata ki Jai. $35 had to give each one, eh? Who taking responsibility? Sitaram. I'll leave it here. Now keep your pocket. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Panagyandev. Now, devotees, the 30th anniversary, the management decided that we're going to use a format of the moving prayer. And the moving prayer is a coming together of many holy ones who focus upon, things of a spiritual nature. And so we have all the pundits here get up and to begin the process, we have verses from the Ramayana, which from ever since we have been doing, Pandit Balaram will lead us about the greatness of the moving Prayag. So let's all join.
बालकांड मंगलाचरण तुलसीकृत रामायण। ओम गंगणपतिये नमः। ओम श्री गुरुचरण कमलभ्यो नमः। ओम ऐ महासरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम नमश्चंडिकाय। ओम वामदेवाय धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम पवनाय पवनपुत्राय श्री हनुमंताय नमः। ओम राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं श्रीराम नाम वरानने। मंगल में संत समाजो जो जग जंगम तीरथ राजो राम भक्ति जह सुर सरी धारा सरस्वती ब्रह्म विचार प्रचारा विधि निषेध मय कलिमल हरणी कर्म कथा रवि नंदिनी बरनी हरिहर कथा मेरा जत बेनी सुनत सकल मुर मंगल देनी। जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम। विश्वास अचल निज धर्मा तीर्थ राज समाज सुकर्मा सब विधि सुलभ राम सब विधि सुलभ सब दिन सब देशा सेवत सादर शमन कलेशा अकट लौकिक तीरथ रावो देय साध्य फल प्रकट प्रभावो। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। सुने समुझहि जनमुदित मन महजहि अति अनुराग लहि चार फल अछत तनु साधु समाज प्रयाग सिया पति रामचंद्र की बोले श्री प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय.
Devotees, Sri Ramchandra ji in Sri Ramcharitamanas mentioned to Shivari, Pratham Bhakti Santan Kar Sangha, Dusri Ratmama Katha Prasanga. The first stage in devotion to associate with holy ones. The second stage to have an insatiable appetite to listen to the glories of the Lord. And then he said, Guru Parapankar Seva Tisari Bhakti Yaman. The third stage in devotion is to have that devotion to the lotus feet of the Guru. Dhyanam Moolam Guru Muti, Puja Moolam Guru Padha, Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripaha. The basis of meditation lies with the form of the Guru. Puja begins on the feet of the Guru. The basis of all mantras, all sacred formulas, the word of the Guru. Salvation depends upon the grace of the Guru. And this Guru we speak about is the Diksha Guru. There are three types of Gurus: Vidya, Kul Guru and Diksha Guru. The Diksha Guru is one who has initiated us, who has initiated into divine life, who has given us that key to open the lock of spirituality, to the field of spirituality. So at this point, Pandit will lead us as we glorify the Guru. You concentrate in your respective Gurus, you know your Guru mantras, chant them. If not, feel free to join the bhajan. We concentrate on Guru, Guru Dev.
मुजरा को शरण में देव, मुजरा को शरण में देव, गुरुदेव, गुरुदेव, गुरुदेव.
गजानन स्वामी की जय. Gurudev, Guru Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees, the journey continues. Lord Ganesh, the Lord of Wisdom, the power of differentiation, discriminative power, without which there can be no success. So we concentrate on Matang Muk Mahaganapati. For a moment we seek his blessings. Ganganapati Inma, repeat in your minds. Om Sumukhascha Kadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnaka Lambodharascha Vikato Vignanaso Vinayaka Dhumriketur Ganadhaksho Bhal Chandro Gajanana Dvadeshaitani Namani Yapathe Shrinu Yarapim Vidyaramhe Vivahe Cha Pravesi Nirgami Tata Sangrami Sankate Chaiva Vignastasya Nijaitim Om Shiv Tanai Varishtam Sarva Kalyana Murting Parashu Dashana Kandhe Shobhitang Modakena Aruna Kusama Mala Byalam Ambojanitram Mama Hriday Nivasam Sri Ganesham Namami Om Namo Ganebhyo Ganapati Bhyascha Om Namo Namo Vratebhyo Vratapati Bhyascha Om Namo Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapati Bhyascha Om Namo Namo Virupebhyo Vishrupe Bhyascha Om Namaha Om Namo Vratpataye Namo Ganapataye Namaha Pramatapataye Namastestu Lambodharai Ekadantai Vignanashini Shiva Sutai Sri Varadamurtaye Namaha Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Pandit Jaidat will lead us as we glorify Gajanan.
Bole Shri Gajanan Swami ki jai. Devotees join in Sankirtanam, which facilitates participation. So I encourage each of you to glorify that Lord in the form of Sri Ganesh. Gananatha Gajavarana Gananatha Dinavandana Gajavarana Gananatha Dinavandana Siddhidata Shivatanaya Shivatanaya Siddhi Pradayaka Gajanana Siddhi Pradayaka Gajanana Parvati Nandana Bhave Bhanjana Parvati Nandana Bhave Bhanjana Yuga Yuga Vandana Jai Shri Ganesh Yuga Yuga Vandana Jai Shri Ganesh Gananatha Dinavandana Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh Parvati Nandana Siddhi Ganesh Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh Parvati Nandana Siddhi Ganesh Sharanam Ganesh Sharanam Ganesh Sharanam Ganesh Sharanam Ganesh Parvati Nandana Siddhi Ganesh नमामहे पार्वती नंदन सिद्धि गणेश जय 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 गणपति देवा जय 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 गणपति देवा गजानना हे गजानना गजानना हे गजानना गजानना हे गणपति देवा गजानना हे गणपति देवा जय 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 गणपति देवा माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता पार्वती पिता महादेवा गजानना 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 हे गणपति देवा गजानना हे गणपति देवा जय 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 गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय.
Devotees, Vedanta tells us that there are 4 qualifications that are necessary for liberation. We all want to be liberated, free from bondage. And these 4 qualifications are Vivek, or discriminative power, Vairagya, dispassion, Mumukshutva, that intense longing to be with the divine, and Shat Sampat, 6 forms of spiritual wealth. These 4 qualifications are symbolized by the Shiv Parivar. Gajanan Swami, as we mentioned, symbolizes Vivek, discriminative power. Shivaji, we will come to him shortly, Vairagya, dispassion. Devi, Shiva Ramani, Mukshutva, that intense longing to be in oneness with that divine, our true Nitya. So we will proceed to concentrate on that divine mother. But we will perform simple stotra, and in this I want you all to become part of it. Now, many years ago, in the course of the competition that we had for Swadeshi, many of the temples use this Bhavani Ashtakam. There is one simple line that I want you to recite. It says, Gatistvam, Gatistvam, Tvameka Bhavani. Gatistvam, Gatistvam. O Mother, you are the only way, the sole refuge. Tvameka Bhavani. There's only one, and only one refuge. O Mother, it's you. So I like you to understand what you're saying and say it as if you understand what you're saying. Mean it, feel it. We're not saying empty words. We're seeking the blessing of the Lord, of Divine Mother. So devotees, you will recite that line when we come to it. Na tatu na mata, na bandhur na data, na putru na putri, na bhrityu na bharta, na jaya na vidya, na vrittir mameva, Gatistvam, Gatistvam, Tvameka Bhavani. Bhavabdhava pare mahadukha bhiru, papat prakami pralobhi mattaha, kusansara pasha prabhadha sadaham. Na janami danam na cha dhyana yogam, na janami tantram na cha stutra mantram, na janami pujan na cha nyasa yogam. न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थं न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं व्रतं वापि मातर कुकर्मी कुसंगी कुबुद्धि कुदासः कुलाचारहीनः कदाचारलीनः कुदृष्टिः कुवाक्य प्रबन्धः सदाहम् प्रजेशम रमेशम महेशम सुरेशम दिनेशम निशीथेश्वरम वा कदाचित न जानामि चान्य सदाहम शरण्ये। विवादे विषादे प्रमादे प्रवासे जड़े चांदलि पर्वते शत्रु मध्ये अरण्य शरण्ये सदा मां प्रपाहि। अनाथो दरिद्रो जरा रोग युक्तो महाक्षीण दीन सदा जाद्य वक्त्रः विपत्तौ प्रविष्टः प्रनष्टः सदाहम्। ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। जय तुम देवी चामुंडे जय भूतार्ति हारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी काल रात्रि नमोस्तुते। ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकायै नमः। बोले से आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। We join with Pandit Tarun.
Devotees, we focus upon Devi Mata. सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। पान सुपारी त्वचा नारियल, पान सुपारी त्वचा नारियल, ले तेरे बेत चराया, ले तेरे बेत चराया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। सुबह चल तेरे अंग विराजे, सुबह चल तेरे अंग विराजे, केशर तिलक लगाया, केशर तिलक लगाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। ब्रह्मा वेर परे तेरे द्वारे, ब्रह्मा वेर परे तेरे द्वारे, शंकर ध्यान लगाया, शंकर ध्यान लगाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया, नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया, सोने का छत्र चराया, सोने का छत्र चराया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मध्ये, सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मध्ये, कलियुग राज समाया, कलियुग राज समाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वत पासने तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। धूपदीप नैवेद्य आरती धूपदीप नैवेद्य आरती मोहन भोग लगाया मोहन भोग लगाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया धानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे धानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे मन वांछित फल पाया मन वांछित फल पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
बोले से यार शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय. Devotees, we continue with our journey. Pandit Ishwar Madhu Maharaj, the president of SWAHA, will first present a message and then we'll go on to glorify Bhagwan Shankar.
Bole Shri SWAHA Mata ki. Devotees, forgive the fact that I am breaking the beautiful devotion and kirtan, a mantra recitation for a message, but I'm sure you understand the importance, significance of this occasion. Groundbreaking, transformational is how we may look at SWAHA's impact on the national landscape. And over the last 30 years, certainly you would have seen positive changes. SWAHA, the advent of SWAHA, in fact, for many people is a catalyst for positive change throughout our country, throughout the Hindu community in particular. Enlightened ritualism. Enlightened ritualism was the aim to help our people move from what some term a dogmatic adherence towards more genuine understanding and appreciation of our Sanatanist Hindu philosophy, our Sanatanist rituals. And in this respect, I believe that we have been very successful, and I hope you think so too. So we have to give thanks to our founders, the pioneers, the late Shankaracharya-ji, Pandit Rampersad, Mataji, the senior Pandits of our Dharmandal that you see here in front of you. And we must remember the late Pandit Paramanand Prasad, all who have made tremendous contribution. And we recognize forgive me. Bole Shri SWAHA Mata ki. I'm sure you were hearing. But we give thanks to all those who contributed and have gone on. And we all have benefited from what I may term strong visionary leadership. Shankaracharya-ji. It has continued with our Paramacharya, Pandit Rampersad, and other members here. Now COVID forced us to have to regroup, to reorganize. The needs of our membership and indeed the needs of the Hindu community have changed. What worked then 30 years ago, 20 years ago may not work now. It may not necessarily apply now, and you know what I'm speaking about. Things have changed over time. And things are constantly changing, including the mic too, right? So forgive me. So COVID has made us change the way we think about everything. But we need to return to that which makes us unique. And you see this, the movement Prayag, this conference, this coming together, this is what is unique about SWAHA. SWAHA would have pioneered various activities throughout the length and breadth of this country and indeed the world. I could say the world. We have SWAHA pundits all over Canada, New York, United States, India also. We have links there. Europe also. Our influence has been broad, far and wide. But unity, coming together. Think of Kartik celebrations, which is coming back, by the way. It's a Sunday this year, where all our pundits sit together doing puja. And one person leads, but you have all the pundits in unison, engaging in devotion and worship with the shrotas. So, coming together, this moving Prayag, the unity is what we speak about. So SWAHA is blessed to be led by pundits of substance, leaders who have the spiritual and moral authority to guide others. And I'm sure you think so, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I'm speaking to all of you here and the 1,000 others who are looking on IETV and other forms of social media also, as it's being streamed live. I want to thank not just the pundits for what they have been doing, not just the past executives, Pandit Jaidat Maharaj, Pandit Umadat Maharaj, and the executive, national executives that they worked with, but the secretariat also, our branch executives like Divya Ashram here for the contribution they have made over the last 30 years. But I want to also recognize, as we move forward, the new executive who you wouldn't know. We are only an executive about a year, I'm saying a year, 1 month and about a month and a half. So just for your information, I want to recognize them. So we have our vice president, who we just heard, Pandit Tarun Maharaj. The secretary right behind me, Pandit Chandradat Maharaj. The assistant secretary, Mrs. Ambika Maharaj. The PRO, Mr. Dinesh Arjun. The treasurer, Mrs. Nirmala Manohar. And legal advisor and executive member, Mrs. Swastika Prasad Dubey. Then we have the secretariat, Ms. Rupati Singh, Ms. Annie Balchan. These are the individuals that are charged with the responsibility under the guidance of the Dharmandal to take us through the next 30 years and beyond. So where do we go from here? What happens after? I'm saying that we are willing to work with all other Hindu groups, all other Hindu organizations who are like-minded, all other individuals who are like-minded, are willing to work with us. SWAHA welcomes you. We remain committed to growth and development of the national community, especially in promoting Hindu unity. Unity is what is needed. And we look forward to your support and your active participation in events we have coming up. Just to name a few, SWAHA Swadeshi, yes, is coming back. SWAHA Swadeshi, Indian arrival on May 30th. National branch conference also is currently being planned. You will get the details soon. We have cricket competition, small goal football competition being planned, and big, large-scale national events such as Kartik I mentioned and Ganesh Visarjan. These are things you have to look forward to. So to all of you today, and to, who are here and all those looking on IETV, I encourage you to get involved. Get involved, be a part of what we are doing here at SWAHA Incorporated. SWAHA welcomes you. Happy 30th anniversary. Bole Shri SWAHA Mata Ki.
Thank you, Pandit. As we prepare ourselves to worship Bhagwan Shankar devotees, Din Dayalu Kripa Sagar, Mrityunjay Bhagwan. As we know, society is on the siege right now, all of negativities. And time and again in society, it has always been so. But through the power of the divine, we're able to successfully overcome negativities. So I want to perform what is called the Mahamrityunjay Stotram. Everybody should be aware and familiar with the Mrityunjay mantra. But we are going to do the stotra, and there is one simple line in which I invite you to join. It says, Namami Shirasa Devam Kinno Mitruhu Karishyati. So those of you who are not familiar with it, may be difficult to pick it up, but at least you can chant the Mrityunjay mantra in your minds. Visualize Bhagwan Shankar. And I've always stood by this principle, I need God, God doesn't need me. So when I do these things, I'm not doing God a favor. I'm doing myself a favor. So it all depends, it's a one-man journey. How you go to Him, so He comes to you. The effort you put into it will determine what you get out of it. And most importantly, remember, He is the indweller. We can't fool him. He's the indweller, the inner witness. As a matter of fact, philosophically speaking, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am him. We're trying to realize it. Visualize Bholinath. Om Asasi Mahamrityunjay Stuta Mantasya. Say Markande Rishi Anushtup Chanda. Say Mrityunjay Devta Gauri Shakti. Mama Sarva Arishta Samasta Mrityu Shantartham. Sakal Aishwarya Praptyartham Cha Jape Viniyoga. Atadhyanam. Chandra Ark Agni Viluchanam Smitamukham. Padmadvayantah Sthitam. Mudra Pasha Megraksha Sukta Vilasat Paning Himanshu Prabham. Kotindu Pragalat Sudha Lutatanung Haradi Bhushojvalam. Kantang Vishwa Vimohanam Pashupating Mrityunjayam Bhavayit. Om Rudram Pashupating Stanum Nilakantam Umapating Namami Sharisa Devam Kinno Mrityu Karishyati. Nilakantam Kal Murting Kal Lagyang Kal Nashanam Nilakantam Virupaksham Nirmalam Nilaya Prabham Vamadevam Mahadevam Lokanatham Jagadgurum Devadevam Jagannatham Devesham Vrishabhvajam Gangadharam Mahadevam Sarvabharana Bhushitam Anatha Paramanandam Kaivalya Padagaminam Swarg Apavargadataram Srishti Sthiti Vinashakam Utpati Sthiti Sanghar Kartaram Ishwaram Gurum. Continue to recite Mrityunjay mantra in your minds. Markande Kritam Stutam Yapathe Shiva Sannidhau Tasya Mrityu Bhayang Nasti Nagni Chaur Bhayang Pachat Shatavatang Prakartabhyam Sankati Kashta Nashanam Shochir Bhutva Pathit Stutam Sarva Siddhi Pradayakam Tavat Pastat Gatat Pranas Pachittuham Sadamrida Iti Vigyapade Vesham Triambakhyam Manung Japit. Repeat after me. Mrityunjay Mahadev Trahi Mam Sharanagatam Janma Mrityu Jara Rogahe Piritang Karma Bandhanahe Namah Shivaya Sambaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Klesha Nashaya Yoginang Pataye Namaha. If you can't just cross your hands across your bosom, you focus on all the limbs in your body. Om Shatang Ayur Mantra. Om Hrim Shrim Hrim Hrim Raha Hanahan Dahadaha Pachapach Grihan Grihan Sri Mariam Mariam Mardaya Mardaya Maha Mahabhairav Bhairav Rupina Dhunaya Dhunaya Kampaya Kampanaya Vignaya Vignaya Vishweshwar Chobhaya Chobhaya Katu Katu Mohaya Hum Phat Swaha Iti Mantra Matrena Samabhishtu Bhavati Iti Sri Markande Purane Markande Kritam Mahamrityunjay Stotam Sampurnam Om Trayambakam Yajamehe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urva Rukam Ivabandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamridat Om Har Har Mahadev Om Namah Shivaya. We join Panitishwar.
And devotees, as we continue to focus upon Bhagwan Shankar, I ask you to join with me. Short bhajan and kirtan. The words are simple as we focus upon Deen Dayalu, Kripasagar, Bholinath, together with Devi Ma, so you can think of Shiv Shakti. The words Bam Bhola, Shiva Shankar, Kailash Ki Vasi. I ask you to join with me. Bam Bhola Shiva Shankar Kailash Ki Vasi. Bam Bhola Shiva Shankar Kailash Ki Vasi. देखो गौर बरन लिए साथ सती ब्रिजदासी. देखो गौर बरन लिए साथ सती ब्रिजदासी. बम भोला शिव शंकर कैलाश, शिव शंकर कैलाश की वासी.
नंदी बैल पर बैठी शंभु अविनाशी, नंदी बैल पर बैठी शंभु अविनाशी, शंभु अविनाशी। डम डमरू बजावत गया पूजे सुगराशि, बम भोला शिव शंकर कैलाश, शिव शंकर कैलाश के वासी। जब वास किए प्रभु तीर्थ क्षेत्र भय काशी, जब वास किए प्रभु तीर्थ क्षेत्र, प्रभु तीर्थ क्षेत्र भय काशी। नर ध्यान धरत भय योगी अति सन्यासी, नर ध्यान धरत भय योगी अति। बम भोला शिव शंकर कैलाश, शिव शंकर कैलाश की वासी। देखो गौर बदन ने साथ सजी निज दासी, देखो गौर बदन ने। प्रभु दर्शन के नैना भरे है प्यासी, प्रभु दर्शन के नैना भरे, नैना भरे है प्यासी। जो दया करे शिव शंकर कटे यम फांसी, जो दया करे शिव शंकर। बम भोला शिव शंकर कैलाश, शिव शंकर कैलाश की वासी। देखो गौरा बदन ने साथ सजी निज दासी, देखो गौरा बदन ने। We all join. ओम नमः शिवाय, 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की।
Devotees, we now proceed to the chairman of the Mandal, Pandit, Professor Pandit Dr. Prakash Prasad. He will present his message and then we will focus on Satyanarayan Swami.
Parmacharya ji, Pandit Balaram Prasad ji, Pandit Jnandev Prasad ji, Pandit Mahadev Prasad ji, Pandit Logo, Divya Sajano, Sitaram. As you have heard, we are here to celebrate the 30th anniversary of SWAHA. SWAHA got incorporated by Act of Parliament. It didn't start 30 years ago, but it got incorporated by Act of Parliament on the 15th of April, 1993. And that makes it 30 years if our arithmetic is correct. Also, interestingly, or noteworthy, or whatever adjective you may want to use, that the Shankaracharya went into Mahasamadhi, as the Paramacharya said, on the 15th of February also, 15th of April also, the same day as incorporation of SWAHA, 15 years after. So today we are marking, the 30th anniversary of the incorporation of SWAHA, and also we are commemorating the 15th death anniversary as such of the Shankaracharya. And let me at this point pause to say that Pandit Parananji, he died on February 14th, 15 years ago. You know what that day that was, right? February 14th, so I wouldn't add any more on that. 18th of March, oh sorry. I did something for him. I remember his Dhanapatmi asked me to bring something for him on the 14th of February to commemorate that day, because nobody could do it, and I did do that. So that I got juxtaposed both events. But for 14th of February, Paramacharya reminds me our sister's death anniversary, also our Mataji passed, but also I want to add that there are many members of SWAHA, including those of Divya Ashram, who would have passed on this during these 30 years. And it is only right and proper that we also acknowledge those, because they all made contributions to SWAHA. So indeed, we pray to Bhagavan that he may bless and protect them also, all the members of SWAHA who have gone forward. Now, SWAHA, as was mentioned earlier, Pandit Hari Prasad Ji Shankaracharya was the founding spiritual leader as such as SWAHA. Now, he had some particular characteristics that SWAHA got imbued with. You see, like the leader, like the follower, that's how it is. Or you would have this saying that people deserve the leaders they vote for. You hear that outside. But here, we follow the leader who had these great characteristics, which got imbued in the psyche of SWAHA and its membership. So one was commitment to Dharma. Pandit Hari Prasad Ji, and I give a quick incident, historical, that many times he would be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, he would bathe and do his own puja before he went to do puja for other people. And many times he would be sneezing 20, 30, 40 times before, but he would never stop doing it. He had that commitment to prayer, that commitment to devotion, that commitment to Dharma and to Hinduism. His service, he was an exemplar in terms of service. For those of you who don't know, that he was the first Pandit who would sit with everybody else and eat food together. There was no discrimination. And I give an example. I remember once we went, and whether this person is rich or poor, he saw no distinction in his mind at all. When we went, and I'm sure Pandit Balaram and Pandit Haridev, and I won't call his name, but the person went by, when we went there, Shankaracharya said, you have to eat. We sat on the floor. There was cobwebs at the side. When they were sharing the food sharers, toenail was that long, almost coming over the food. But we couldn't. He said, this man has devotion, you sit there and eat. That was how he was. So that is what SWAHA is about, that in SWAHA there's no discrimination, none whatsoever. He was the ultimate organization man. He had no ulterior motives, no self-motive. He did it for the organization. And this you would have seen, it's always been that way. In fact, when we build temples, we set a record in building temples as opposed to 30 and 40 and 50 years and some going 100 years and finish. SWAHA built temples very quickly. And he was the first one to make a most significant contribution to every temple. So he led not by talk, but by example, precept, because he was a preceptor. That's what he was. He was a man, as an ultimate organization man. Anybody who cares about organization would look at succession planning. And a good leader, when he goes, he will not be missed, but there will be a smooth transition. People wouldn't notice any operations of the organization. And I remember clearly, and those of you who have been to our ancestral home, where Shankaracharya would sit in a hammock, and Mataji would sit in the gallery on her couch. Next young generation up of SWAHA. And one day, he called us, the Dharma Mandal. He said to us, and this is history again, he said, and he knew, he says, my time is coming. He didn't give a date. He says, but I want this organization to run smoothly. I want you all here to choose who is your next leader. He never told us who we should choose. Naturally, we unanimously chose Paramacharya Ji. But he was that sort of person, in leadership. He looked at the future. And also in his life, and there's a message for all of us, that we must plan our lives to make sure there is succession in our lives. Now, this transition process, you see it happen here. And if you look at this, the stage here, You would have seen a lot of younger pundits coming forward. And this is how SWAHA is. Transition is a process. We're allowing that to happen, to go forward. So the emergent leadership, this is something that we must follow. That example, that characteristic of the leader, original leader of SWAHA, it must be followed. Now, Shankaracharya was an extraordinary person, a guru to tens of thousands. He was followed by an icon of Hinduism, a legend in Hinduism and Panditai practice in this country, the Paramacharya. Followed by, so one extraordinary leader was followed by another who is here today. And we hope that this example, we hope this present extraordinary leader stays with us for many, many more years. And as we sing today, I want you to pray for him and pray for us, pray for ourselves too, that we continue this path. Devotees, Shankaracharya, he always told us about being suputra, suput, that the son, and by, if you look at law, in the legal system, when you say he, it means she too. Understand these days, you have he, she, and people name they too. They have to show what they are. But that is fine. So when I say suput, we don't mean that we ignoring the daughters. So he said that your children, generally speaking, must take your name forward. That's what he believed in. He was a strong believer in that. You must take your name forward. And therefore, this is what is happening, that we, again, the emergent leadership led by Pandit Ishwar Madhav Maharaj, that we want to take SWAHA forward. That is the path, that is the sort of culture of SWAHA. For us in our personal lives also, that is something we must do. So, he was this person who, drove this organization. Now, in commemoration of him, in Smaran and remembering him, members of Divya Ashram, and many of who are still here and attending today, when we started, will remember that when we had a yajna and he came into the yard, there was a change in the place. The place felt different. He was a blessed man. And they will tell you that here was a desolate area. But once he stepped foot in that yard, right around there, came in for the yajna, the place felt better. And many people ask, well, we have, and there's no discrimination, but he said that here should be SWAHA. Well, he never used the word SWAHA, he said, but Divya Ashram. That here is a blessed place, as elsewhere also, but that he came here and felt that way. And today, that spirit of cooperation, that spirit that is put in this place here, of togetherness, of peace, of quiet, up to today, when people come to Divya Ashram, because of his blessings, you feel that sense of peace, that sense of quietude. And that today was reflected, as you came in the work of the members of Divya Ashram, who followed the example of selfless service. To the members of Divya Ashram, I say to you, Main bahut bahut abhari hu. I am very grateful to you for living up to his principles and indeed I am sure you, like I did, felt his presence here today. Bolo Sri Shankaracharya Maharaj Ji ki Jai.
Devotees, we will proceed to concentrate on Sri Satyanarayan Swami. Pandit Gyandev very beautifully mentioned three important functions, maybe it slipped many of you: Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. In every situation there is a creative principle, preservation and destruction of evil forces. So Satyanarayan Swami is a cohesive tendency, the Lord of cohesion, sustenance. So we visualize him, Sank Chakra Gada Padma. We just do a stuta to praise him, Prakash will continue to glorify him. Om Dhyaya Satyam Gunatitam, Gunatraya Samanvitam, Lokanatham Tilokesham, Kaustubha Bharanang Harim, Nilvarnam Pita Vastram Sivatsa Padabhushadam, Govindam Gokulanandam, Brahma Deiripi Pujitam, Satyanarayanam Devam, Vandeham Kamadam Prabhum, Lileya Vitatam Vishwam, Ina Tashmai Namo Namaha, Ram Narayan Ananta Mukunda Madhusudana, Krishna Keshava Kansari Hare Vaikuntha Vamana, Ete Kadashanamani Patedupata Yidyatihi, जन्मकोटि सहस्राणां पातकादेव मुच्यते हरे मुरारे मधुकैतभारे गोपाल गोविंद मुकुंद शौरे यज्ञेश नारायण कृष्ण विष्णु निराशयं मा जगदीश रक्षः ओम तदेव लग्नं सूर्यनं तदेव ताराबलं चंद्रबलं तदेव विद्याबलं दैवबलं तदेव लक्ष्मीपते तेन्हि युगं स्मरामि। बोलिए श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी के।
बोल श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय। Devotees, as a saying, when in Rome, do let the Romans do. You're not in Rome today, but you're in SWAHA Ashram. And in SWAHA Ashram, you know, if you sit and you look at the Pandit singing, we say you're like, you know, this kind of rough, stiff class. That is what your teacher had. They don't get engaged with the teacher. In SWAHA Ashram, we are accustomed to clapping and singing together. It's a very simple kirtan. I ask you to join as we glorify the name of Bhagavan Vishnu. Shriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Shriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Shriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Shriman Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Swami Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Swami Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Swami Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Swami Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Surya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Surya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Surya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Surya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Lakshmi Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Lakshmi Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Lakshmi Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Lakshmi Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Shiva Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Swami Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Satya Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय.
Devotees, Bhagwan Sri Satyanarayan also we thought was Lord Vishnu. From Hindu perspective, Hindu theology, he manifests himself. They said there are 14 minor manifestations, 10 major ones. Two of the major ones, most popular, Sri Ram and Sri Krishna. So we move on to concentrate on Bhagwan Sri Ram, Maryada Purushottam. We do a stotra, we seek the blessings of the Lord. And let me share a secret that will no longer be a secret. We all speak of Shankaracharya way before SWAHA. I was about 5 years of age at that time. Of course, I could have read Hindi. My father gave me Ramayana and this particular stotra. He said, Havdev, chant this every day. Now, many of you from Gandhipak and otherwise would know of the gems of Ramayana we speak about. He was the one who pointed out that to me. So that I will do that every morning and every evening I will do this stotra. Balram, I'm sure you're very familiar with it. So devotees, all in memory of Shankaracharya, Papa, Guru. Very powerful Sri Ram stotra, taken from, I think it's Aranyakand, where Atri Rishi praised Bhagwan Sri Ram. Visualize Maryada Purushottam. Nilam Bhujasham Maluko Malangam. Sita Sumaru Pitubam Bhagam. Panau Mahasaya Kacharu Chapam. Namami Ramam. Roban Sanatham. Om Namami Bhakta Vatsalam Kripalu Shila Kumalam. Bhajami te Padam Bhujang Akaminang Swadhamadam. Nikama Shama Sundaram Bhavam Bhunata Mandaram. Prabhula Kanjaluchanam Madadi Dosha Muchanam. Pralamba Bahu Vikramang Prabhupanmaya Vaibhavam. Nishanga Chapa Sayakang Dharanti Lokanayakam. Dinesha Vanshamandanam Mahesha Chapa Kandanam. Monindra Santa Ranjanang Savari Vrinda Bhanjanam. Manoja Vairi Banditang Ajari Deva Sevitam. Vishuddha Bodha Vigraham Samasya Dushanapaham. Namami Indira Puting Sukha Karang Satangatim. Bhajesa Shakti Sanjang Shachipati Priyanujam. Twadanghi Muli Indra. Bhajantihi Namatsaraha. Patanjinu Bhavarneve Vitarka Vishi Sankule. Vivikti Vasinha Sada. Bhajanti Mukti Muram. Nirasa Indriyadikang Priyanti Tegating Swakam. Pamekamadbhutang Prabhum. Nirihamishwaran Vibhum. Jagat Gurung Shashwatang Turiyam Kivalam. Bhajami Bhava Vallabham. Kuyoginang Sudulabham. Swabhakta Padapam. Samasta Sebimambham. Anuparupa Bhuvating Natuhamur Vijapatim. Prasida me Namami te Padabas Bhakti Dehi me. Pathanche Shavangirang. Naradarin te Param. Vrajanti Natha Sangshayang. Twadiya Bhakti Sangyutam. Idhi Srimad Goswami Tulsidaji Krita. Sri Ramchandra Stuti Sampurnam. Apadam Pahartaram Dataram Sarvasamparam. Lokabhiramam. Sri Ramam. Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamiham. Boli Sri Raja Ramachandra ki. We join Pandit Chancharat Maharaj as he glorifies Sri Ram.
We focus our attentions upon Maryada Purushottam Prabhu Sri Ram.
Raghava Sundar Ram Janaki Jivan Ram Ram He Ram He Gunanam He Ram He Gunanam He Ram He Gunanam He Ram He Gunanam Raghav Sundar Ram Janaki Jivan Ram Ram He Ram He
कौशल्यतनया रघुकुलराम कौशल्यतनया रघुकुलराम अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम कौशल्यतनया रघुकुलराम कौशल्यतनया रघुकुलराम अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम जय जय राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम जय श्री राम हे राम हे गुण हे राम हे गुणधाम राघव सुंदर राम जानकी जीवन राम राम हे गुणधाम हे राम हे गुणधाम हे राम हे गुणधाम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 बोलिए श्री सीतारामचंद्र की जय
Devotees, we move on one step further and we focus on Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Leela Purushottam. Now, I want to do a few verses from the Gita, and this is especially on behalf of Shankaracharya, and as the Pandits mentioned, we have lost many in SWAHA. So, this is for the benefit of all of them, wherever they may be. Pandit Manidev could testify this. He told me that when Papa's ashes were taken to India and the Pandit, performed what he had to do, this was a part of Bhagavad Gita that he read, chapter 11. Praising that Virat Swarup, that sum total of all forms. Atma, Ishwar Ans Jiva Vinashi. Ishwar Ans Jiva Vinashi, the soul is part and parcel of that infinite. So this stotra praises that form that Bhagavan, that Arjuna saw on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Many heads, countless hands, etc. That form that symbolizes the sum total of all forms. So we pray for all those who have gone, and devotees, you also, as you have heard, many people died in COVID, died from COVID, many problem situations throughout. Whenever such things happen, we always do Gita, we pray. So I dedicate these few verses to especially Shankaracharya Mataji, Pandit Parmanand, and to all those who have been responsible for making SWAHA what it is today, whether through opposition or through support. Everyone is important. So try to visualize. Repeat in your minds, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Yang Brahma Varunenda Ruddha Marutastun Vanti Divya Iskavair Vedaih Sangha Parkrama Upanishadair Gayanti Yang Samaga Dhyana Vaschitad Gate Namansa Pashyanti Yang Yogino Yasyantana Vidhu Sura Surgana Devai Tasmai Namaham. Om Arjuna Vacham Pashyami Devanscha Vadevadehi Sarvanscha Bhuta Vishesha Sangham Brahmanamisham Kamlasanastam Rishinsha Sarvan Varganscha Divyam Aneka Bahudara Vakta Netram Pashyami Twang Sarvato Nanta Rupam Nantam Namadhyam Napunasta Varing Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa Kiritinam Garinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rasing Sarvatu Deeptamantam Pashyami Twang Dur Nirikshan Samantat Deeptanalar Atidima Pranayam Tamaksharam Paramam Viritabhyam Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Twamabhyaya Shashvata Dharma Gupta Sanatanaspam Purusho Matumi Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahung Shashi Surya Nitram Pashyami Twang Diptotasa Vaktam Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam Vyava Prithivi Byoridamantharam hi Vyaptam Tvayaikin Dishasya Sarvaha Drishtvad Bhutam Rupam Ugram Tavedam Lokatrayam Prabhatitan Mahatmam Amihi Twang Swasangha Vishanti Kechibhi Taha Pranjala Yugrananti Swastit Yuktva Maharsha Siddha Sangha Stuvanti Twang Stutibhi Pushkalabhi Rud Aditya Vasoyecha Sadhya Vishveshvino Murtas Shoshma Paschaham Gandharva Yaksha Sura Siddha Gansangham Vikshanti Twang Vismitas Shaiva Sarvi Rupam Mahatte Bhavakta Netam Mahabahu Bahu Bahu Rupadam Bahu Dharam Bahu Dhanshakaralam Dashtvam Lokaha Prabhatithasthathaham Nabhas Prishang Deepta Maneka Varnam Vyattananang Deepta Vishala Netram Drishtva hi Twang Prabhatithantaratma Dhritang Navindami Shamangcha Vishnu Dranshakara Nichate Mukhani Drishtva Kalana Lasannibhanim Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam Dishu Najani Cha Labhe Cha Sharma Prasida Devesha Jagan Nivasa Amisha Twang Titratascha Putraha Sarvehim Sahaivavani Pala Sanghai Bhishmo Drona Stuta Puthasta Thasau Sahasmadiya Ripi Yuddha Mukhahe Vaktrani Te Tvaramana Vishanti Transhta Karalani Bhayanakani Kechit Vilagna Dashanantareshu Sangdrishyanti Chunitairutta Mangahe Yathana Dinang Bahuvumbu Vegaha Samudram Evabhi Mukhadravanti Tathatha Vami Naraloka Vira Vishanti Vaktrani Bhivijvalantim Yatha Praditam Jwalanang Patanga Vishanti Nasha Samriddha Vegaha Tathaiva Nasha Vishanti Lokaha Ntavapi Vaktrani Samriddha Vegaha Lelil Hisigras Manhas Manta Lokan Samagran Varnajvalabhi Tejo Bhira Pura Jagat Samagram Bhasah Tavo Graha Pratapanti Vishnu Akhyahi Meko Bhavanugra Rupe Namustute Devavat Prasida Vigyatum Echami Bhavantamadhyam Nahi Prajanami Tabapavritim Om Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kanshachanur Mardanam Devaki Parmanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum He Rama Purushottama Narhare Narayana Keshava Govinda Garudhvaja Gunadidhe Nadu Damodara Madhava He Krishna Kamalapate Yadupate Sitapate Sripate Vaikuntadhipate Characharpate Lakshmipate Pahimam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bole Vrindavan Sri Krishna Chandra Ki Jai. We join Pandit Harish.
Simple Kirtanam devotees, let's all join. Radhe Govinda, Jai Jai Radhe Gopala. Radhe Govinda, Jai Jai Radhe Gopala. Dinanath Govinda, लोला गोपाला राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला राधा लोला गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला राधा लोला गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला गोविंदा जय गोविंदा गोपाला जय गोपाला हे राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला दीनानाथ गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला अनाथ नाथ गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला अनाथ नाथ गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला गोविंदा जय गोविंदा गोपाला जय गोपाला हे राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला दीनानाथ गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला आनंद रूपा चित चोरा मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला आनंद रूपा चित चोरा मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला गोविंदा जय गोविंदा गोपाला जय गोपाला राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला दीनानाथ गोविंदा रास बिलोला गोपाला राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला हे राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला हे राधे गोविंदा जय जय राधे गोपाला
Bole Vrindavan, Sri Krishna Chandra ki jai. And devotees, we've come to the final aspect we are going to glorify. Shankar Swan Keshari Nandan Pavan Putra Bajrang Bali. I would like you to visualize Hanumanji. Offer your prostrations to him. Om Anjaya Matipatalananam Kanchanadrikamaneya Vigraham Parijataturmula Vasinam Bhavayami Pavamananandanam Goshpari Kritavarisham Mashiki Krita Rakshasam Ramai Mahamala Ratnam Bande Nilatmajam Yatra Yatra Hunata Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Krita Mastakanjalim Vashpavari Paripurna Luchanam Maruting Namat Rakshasantakam Anjani Nandanam Veeram Janaki Shukanashanam Kapisha Makshahantaram Bande Lanka Bhankaram Om Matulita Balhamam Namaha Om Swarna Shailabhadeham Namaha Om Danushvan Krishanum Namaha Om Gyani Nama Graganyam Namaha Om Sakal Gunidhanam Namaha Om Vanara Namadhisham Namaha Om Raghupati Varadutam Namaha Om Vatajatam Namami Om Kapirupam Gadahastam Sarvarakshas Mardanam Avahanam Karambiram Sarva Siddhi Pradayakam Hanuman Anjani Sunur Vayuputra Mahabalha Rameshta Phalgun Sakaha Pingakshamita Vikramaha Udadi Karmanaschaiva Sita Shoka Vinashana Lakshman Pranadatacha Dashigri Vasya Darpaha Om Bandhu Pavan Kumar Khalban Pavak Gyanagam Jasuhriday Agar Basihi Ram Sharchapadhara Om Sri Vayuputraye Namo Namaha Holy Sri Pavan Putra Hanuman ki Vijay Panito Marat.
बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय Sri Votis, as we begin this evening with the words of my Auntie Mala, as she said, that we all have that Pawan Putra within all of us. Also, Panagyanyo mentioned that we have the grace of Pawan Putra, the strength of Pawan Putra. And whenever we think about Hanuman Baba, what comes to the mind? The Hanuman Chalisa. 40 golden verses compiled by that great individual, Tulsidas, for the glorification of Pawan Putra given to all of us, so that we can use it on a daily basis to spiritualize our lives, protect ourselves. As Hanuman Baba, that Lord, who is Gyan Guna Sagar, the abode of all spiritual virtues, all knowledge. That one who writes Hanuman Chalisa, Ramadwari Tumar Khawali, Putanaga Binu Paisari, all negativities are removed from that one who chants Hanuman Chalisa and many other verses. So I want everyone to put their voices together. Hanuman Chalisa is very beautiful, meaning is very beautiful. It creates a positive vibration. So everyone, we use the golden gift of the voice to join. We use our hands to clap as we glorify that most powerful one, Veer Hanumana, Ati Balwana, Ram Nam Rasyari. We put the voices together. Sri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudar Hivarano Raghubar Vimal Jasu Jodaya Kapalachar Buddhi Natanu Janike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Devo Mohi Harahu Kalesha Vikar Bolo Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jai Kapishati Huloka Ujagar Ramaduta Tulita Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama Mahavira Vikram Bajrange Sumati Vimara Sumati Ke Sange Kanchana Varana Viraj Suvesha Kanan Kundala Kunchitra Kesha Hath Vajra Aur Dhwaja Viraje Kaandhi Moja Jane Usaje Shankara Suvana Keshari Nandan Teja Pratap Mahajagabandana Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatur Ram Kaja Karibe Tu Atur Prabhu Charitra Suni Deko Rasya Ram Lakhan Sita Manavasya Dushama Rupa Dhari Se Ahitara Vikat Rupa Dhari Lanka Jarava Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Salave Ramachandra Dekaj Savari Lai Sajeevan Lakhan Jiyaye Sira Gubira Harsha Urlaye रघुपति की बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई। सहस बदन तुम्हारो यश गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। संकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा, नारद शारद सहित रमेशा। जम्बो विरदित पाल जहादे, कवि कोविद कहि सकहि कहादे। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव दीना, राम मिलाय राजपर दीना। तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, मिलियुताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही, चल दिलांगे गए अचरज नारी। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुख मनोग्रह तुम्हारे देते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, पुतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आप तेजस मारो आपे, तीनों लोग हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, बोलो भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, बोलो भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नाशे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई रावे। सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारु युग परताप तुम्हारा। पद सिद्धि जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुरारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता। असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता। असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारो भजन राम को पावे। जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाए। जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाए, और देवता चितना धरई। हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा। जो सुमिरे हनुमत बल, एवरीबॉडी put the voices together. जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नारी। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, बोलो जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, बोलो जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नारी, विशत्र बार पाठ कर कोई। सुख ही बन ही महासुख होई, तो यह पर हनुमान चालीसा। होय सिद्धि साकी गौरीशा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा। तेज नाग्रह दे महाधेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरन। मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित। हृदय बसहो सुरभूप, अतुलित बलधामं स्वर्णशैलाभदेहं। धनुजवन कृशानं ज्ञानिनामाग्रगण्यं। सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ रामदूताय विद्महे कपिराजाय धीमहि, तन्नो हनुमान् प्रचोदयात्। ॐ हूं फट् स्वाहा। So 1 minute devotees, you are joining. वीर हनुमाना अति बलवाना, राम नाम रसिया रे। हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे, बोलो। वीर हनुमाना अति बलवाना, राम नाम रसिया रे। हे प्रभु मन
Manna Basiyare. Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Radhesham, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Radhesham, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Radhesham, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Radhesham. Veera Hanumana, Veera Hanumana, Veera Hanumana, Ati Balvana, Ram Naam Rasiyare. He Prabhu Manna Basiyare. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sitaram, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sitaram, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sitaram, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram, Patita Pavan Sitaram. Veera Hanuman, Bolu Veera Hanumana, Veera Hanumana, Ati Balvana, Ram Naam Rasiyare. Prabhu Manna Basiyare, Prabhu Manna Basiyare, Prabhu Manna Basiyare. Bol si Pawan Putra Hanuman ki Jai.
Now, devotees, we move on to the vote of thanks, which will be done by Mrs. Ambika Maharaj, Assistant Secretary of SWAHA.
Sitaram. So I get what Pandit Professor Prakash was saying, right? Sometimes when you're a teacher and you stand up in front and you look at these students that you have in front of you, you know, you feed off the energy, right? So Sitaram. Oh, thank you very much. As we all know, an event like this is not possible without the assistance of institutions and persons who all share a vested interest in ensuring its success. Today, on behalf of the President and National Executive members of SWAHA, we'd like to sincerely give thanks to the Parmacharya of SWAHA, Pandit Hardev Prasad, and the Pandits of the Dharma Mandal and Dharma Sansad for leading us in devotion and reminding us about where we came from and where we are headed on this milestone of SWAHA's 30th anniversary. And not forgetting also the 15th death anniversary of our Shankaracharya of SWAHA, His Holiness Pandit Hari Prasad. We'd also like to give thanks to the Secretariat of SWAHA for assisting where needed, our SWAHA temples, centers, affiliates, and schools who graciously donated many items needed as well as pledged their assistance for today. You have added so much to this occasion, and for this we are grateful. Thank you to our well-wishers who also lent their support when called upon. Special thanks to the PA operated effectively by tech, to Adi and Raj for the accompaniment of music, IETV for the broadcast of this event, our photographers, Mr. Lisa Mohammed and Rajiv. I got it right. Thank you for lending your time and assisting us today. Special thanks also to New Era Security for the safekeeping of our vehicles. And lastly, but not in any way least, special thanks, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, special thanks and appreciation must go out to our host temple, SWAHA Divya Ashram, spiritual leader, Pandit Professor Prakash Prasad, the chairperson of the temple, Mrs. Mala Prasad, as well as the executive members of the temple. Nothing was ever a problem for you. Nothing that was asked of you, you ever made a problem. You just made it happen, and for this we are very grateful. And it was indeed a pleasure celebrating SWAHA's 30th anniversary as hosted by you. At this point in time, I would like to hand over to Ms. Lilita Chirkut for other house announcements. This will come after we would have completed the arati. Then I will hand over to Ms. Lalita. At this point in time, I pass over to the Parmacharya of SWAHA as he leads us in arati.
All right. Boli si SWAHA Mata ki Jai. Please all stand, devotees. And we will perform Prarthna, Jai Jagadisha Hare. Everybody join together. We'll do Pandit Umarat, Pandit Chandarev. Yeah? Haven't finished already. We'll perform Arti and at the end we'll have our closing prayer. Let's join.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Das Jano Ke Sankat Jan Mein Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Das Jano Ke Sankat Jan Mein Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Yogya Mein Par Paave Dukha Vinase Man Ka Swami Dukha Vinase Man Ka Sukha Sampati Ghar Aave Sukha Sampati Ghar Aave Ashtami Ke Tan Ka Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Shalami Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Tumhare Sharan Kaho Kisaki Swami Sharan Kaho Kisaki Tuma Bina Aur Na Dooja Tuma Bina Aur Na Dooja Aashik Karo Jisaki Om Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Das Jano Ke Sankat Shalami Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Tum Puran Paramatma Tum Antarayami Swami Tum Antarayami Par Brahma Parameshwar Par Brahma Parameshwar Tum Sabke Swami Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Shalami Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Tum Karuna Ke Sagar Tum Palan Karta Swami Tum Palan Karta Deen Dayalu Kripalu Deen Dayalu Kripalu Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Shalami Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Tum Ho Ek Agochar Sabke Pranavati Swami Sabke Pranavati Kis Vidhi Milo Dayamai Kis Vidhi Milo Dayamai Tumko Main Tumati Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Bhakt Jano Ke Sankat Shalami Dur Kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Dina Bandhu Dukha Harta Tum Rakshak Mere Swami Tum Rakshak Mere Karuna Sabaravu Karuna Sabaravu Dwar Para Tere Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों की संकट भाग जनों की संकट शन में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटावो पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा प्रभु पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ सतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Devotees, we have come to the end of our evening of devotions, celebrations. And I would like you to all focus. We give thanks in our own way. We will seek the blessings of the sages, divinity, so we can continue life's journey successfully and also take SWAHA to greater heights. In your own way, concentrate and pray. Ganapati Girija Vrishabdhvajam Shanamukho Nandi Mukhadimdimam Manujamal Trishulam Mrigastvacham Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Ravi Shashi Kunja Indu Brihaspati Bhiguja Bhanuja Singhaja Kitava Uraganamapi Yoga Charashaya Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Surasarira Vinandini Gumati Sarayutamapi Sagara Ghara Ghara Kanakaramapi Gandaki Narmada Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Bhrigumarichi Pulasta Angira Kapila Vatsaya Gashta Narada Gurvasishta Sanatana Jaimini Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Varuna Indra Kubera Hutashana Yama Samira Navarida Kunjara Suragana Asurasya Mahidhara Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garudbhaja Mangalam Pumdrikaksha Mangalayatanu Harihim Om Avahanam Najanami Visarjanam Pujam Chaiva Najanami Chamyatang Parmeshwaram Om Labhasteshan Jayasteshan Kutasteshan Parajaya Yesham Indivarsham Hridayastu Janardanam Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukbhag Bhavet Om Gachatvam Bhagwan Agni Swasthani Kundamadhyata Hutam Adaya Devi Shikra Dehi Prasidamim Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Ganeshwara He Parmeshwari He Sadashiv He Janardan, He Kapishwara, He Agnishwara, Yat Pujitam Maya Deva, He Devima, Paripurnam Tatastumi. We all join together universal prayer. Om Tvameva Mahata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ ध्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिर् आपः शान्ति औषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्ति विश्वे देवा शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सर्वा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शुभ शान्तिः घर से कहो जोर से घर से कहो बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की शुभमस्तु blessings to all kindly be seated devotees.
Sitaram devotees, while the arati is being shared, after the arati is shared actually, we would like to invite you down the very steep stairs that you came up. Hopefully the trip is not going to be as bad on the way down. Down the corridor of peace, and we have 2 bays set up for you where the ladies of Divya Ashram, who are known for their very sweet hands, will be there prepared to serve you your dinner. We're asking the pundits to stay back for just a few minutes to get some photos. This is a very momentous occasion, and so we'd like to create some permanent memories, as well as members of the National Executive. And when that is completed, Auntie Penny will be here to escort you to your dining area, where we have meals prepared for you as well. After your dinner, or during your dinner, we believe here in Divya Ashram in the concept of hospitality.